I am going to put you on to one of the best websites of all time. That's right, Google Earth. I have been traveling Google Earth for many years. I've visited hundreds of locations all across the planet, and one location stands out among the rest. This location, Edinburgh, Scotland. Edinburgh is a wonderful place to travel to, filled with an intricate architecture, an ancient history, and extremely unique activities that you can participate in. Today, I will do my best to convince you not only to travel to Scotland, but to take up some travel time to travel across Google Earth and find a location that interests you just as much as Edinburgh, Scotland interests me. The best way to travel Google Earth is to take your little man in the corner, pick a random city in a random country across the planet, and drop him twice. Those pictures that show up whenever you drop your man will show you how beautiful the country actually is, without those Pinterest photos and Google photos that show the best parts of the city. This is one random drop in Edinburgh, Scotland. That's right, an ancient, beautiful church. The second location, a castle looking over on a hill, looking over the entire city of Edinburgh. As depicted here by Google Maps, Edinburgh has gorgeous topography and a very unique architecture. According to Britannica, it's built on a peninsula with winding streets and ancient buildings. These ancient buildings now have been turned into your restaurants and your different shops that you can visit too. The original winding build of the city was to protect it from any invaders or people who would try to come and attack the city, because it was built as a military stronghold whenever it was first created. An interesting fact about Edinburgh is it's built on a deposit of volcanic rock formed by lava many, many years ago. Edinburgh Castle itself sits on 443 feet of volcanic rock deposited above the sea level. It towers over the entire city, where you can see rivers, hills carved into the ground by glacial movements and different lava formations. Edinburgh is not only filled with the most interesting topography and architecture, it has ancient history. It's filled with historical sites such as churches, different buildings, all sorts of stuff. The National Museum of Scotland says that the city is filled with many, many different historical sites and museums. Most notably, in my opinion, are the Museum of War History and the Museum of Aviation. The Museum of War shows the intense war history of Scotland itself, all the way from the Dark Ages to current day. As I said, it was a military stronghold, so there's tons of history here. The other museum that interests me, or you, is the Museum of Flight. This is the English aviation museum of the entire country. It shows English aviation from the day it began to current. There's planes, there's different trails that you can take that show different airfields. It's very, very interesting. Not only is Edinburgh filled with unique spots to visit, unique museums and history, it's also filled with a bunch of other unique activities that you can participate in. Shops, restaurants, trails. Notably, it sits on the beach, so you can go to the ocean, you can fish in the saltwater. Not only does it have all these really interesting attributes that you can be a part of, in my opinion, the most interesting is it houses the Royal School of Veterinary Science. According to the website of the Royal School of Veterinary Science, this city houses the top researcher for dairy cattle herd health. As an animal science student here at Texas A&M, I am currently majoring in ruminant nutrition, or nutrition of cattle. I absolutely love dairy cattle, and I hope to go into a position working with dairy cattle. So this for me would be so cool to visit and see in person. According to the website, they have availabilities to come and tour the historic old ancient campus. You can see how college students in a different country go about their daily lives, and even maybe come and sit in a couple classes and learn a few things yourself. This is an opportunity provided uniquely by this university in order to have different people come in and become aware of the things that they are trying to solve in the world. This is just one example of a unique opportunity. There's many others, such as helicopter flights, fishing tours, all sorts of stuff. Edinburgh is a unique destination with beautiful architecture, deep history, and unique places to visit and activities to participate in. Hopefully, this made you think of a uniqueness that you want to be a part of. Hopefully, I've inspired you to travel to Edinburgh and experience this for yourself. Or maybe I've convinced you to travel across Google Earth and find a place that interests you as much as Edinburgh interests me. Thank you. Okay, and then this is my question and answer portion. So the question asked today is, what would the cost be to travel to Edinburgh, Scotland? So for a single person trip, you're looking at about $1,500 to $2,000 per person to travel. Let me break that down for you. You start out at about $1,000 to $1,200 for a flight there and back. Next, you're looking at accommodations. It's going to be about $100 to $200 a night, depending on where you stay. There's hostel options, hotel options, and even Airbnbs that you can stay in if you have the budget. And finally, if you're considering activities and food, you can get by spending about $100 to $200 a day. This price includes all of your food, all of your activities. There are activities that you can do to spend more money, such as, like I said, the helicopter, or visiting a fishing charter, or you can even spend no money and go on different trails, visit free castles, go to different museums that are free. There's many opportunities within Edinburgh itself that you can visit and be a part of. All of this information is from gotraveler.com. And that is my presentation. Thank you.